Hello and welcome back to this week's video. My name is John Cassidy-Rice and I have the pleasure to be your host for these videos. I am the founder of the Professional NLP Practitioner. So last week we started to explore some of the opportunities with NLP and that it has gone mainstream. And we left it with this thought: your unconscious mind plays a trick on your conscious mind where you're 0.2 seconds behind reality. And though your conscious mind thinks you're in control, what is happening is your unconscious mind is making certain decisions. So we propose the idea that it might be good to explore what is driving the unconscious mind. So what you'll find below is a PDF that you can download called The Prime Directives of Your Unconscious Mind. I was introduced to this by Dr. Wyatt Woodsmall. So there's your reference. So let's pick some of those. Let's take a very common one, which is the unconscious mind does not process negatives. The unconscious mind does not process negatives. Now, it's not negative thoughts. We can all have negative thoughts. So we're not talking about that. This is about how we represent information to ourselves and to other people. Okay, let's do a quick thought experiment. I know some of you may have done this before, so a quick thought experiment. Whatever you do, do not think about a blue effing upper pink tree. That's a blue effing upper pink tree. Do not think about it. Blue effing pink tree. So what are you doing? I said not to think about it. But even if you think you didn't, you did. How can I say that with such confidence? Because words are secondary to how you think. You think using your imagination. Words are secondary to that. So when you say, do not think, the brain goes, I don't know what I do not need to think about, and parks those words to one side and creates an image of a blue effing upper pink tree. This is why, if you've ever been on a diet and you said to yourself, I will not eat chocolate cake, I will not eat chocolate cake, the brain essentially goes, will not, I don't know what I will not do, parks those words to one side, creates an image of you eating chocolate cake, and eventually you go, oh, I can do that. And as I have children, when I'm walking home from school with them, I'll often hear parents shout to their children, don't run, you'll fall over and hurt yourself. And what happens in that moment? Yeah, they fall over and hurt themselves. And yet the child would have been fine if it hadn't been for the adult placing that image in the child's mind. The principle to understand behind this is this: your unconscious mind will follow the strongest image you present it. Ask for what you want to happen, not what you don't want to happen. So I was working with some teachers, so they said, okay, we have trouble with children running through corridors. So I said, what are you saying? Don't run. So the image in the mind is running. So what you want them to do? Walk. So you need to say, walk. So you're more likely to get your way. Now, as soon as you understand that one principle, you understand all influencing techniques. Your unconscious mind follows the strongest image, and language triggers images in the mind. That one insight has been worth your time invested in this training. Right, so related to that is the unconscious mind takes everything personally. Now, if you like to gossip, don't listen to what I'm about to say. I'm about to ruin gossiping. Sorry. Whatever you say about anyone else, your unconscious mind is taking it personally. It makes no distinction that you are talking about someone else. It thinks you're talking about self. And if you've ever worked in a large organization, you've seen this happen time and time again. You get somebody who starts the team. They're enthusiastic, they're keen, they're bubbly. And then 30 to 40 days after joining the team, they start to sound like other people on the team. They then start acting like other people on the team. And if there's somebody who's constantly late and they keep saying, oh, have you noticed so-and-so's late today? 5 minutes yesterday, 10 minutes the day before. How come they get away with being late all the time? Now, it doesn't matter saying it once or twice about someone else. There is a buffer zone, and that buffer zone is 30 to 40 days. Say the same things about other people for 30 to 40 days, your unconscious mind starts to go, oh, you'd like us to be late? I can arrange that. So whatever you say about anyone else, your unconscious mind takes it personally. I think you are fascinating. You're humorous. You're interesting. Right. Let's take another principle. Let's take the principle of least effort and habits. So we'll explore those together. The principle of least effort can work for you or against you. So has there ever been a time in your life, and it may be now or in the past, where you were exercising on a regular basis, you did it for at least 3 months and were doing it at least 3 times a week, it just become part of your routine. And in fact, if you missed a session, you wanted to make it up. Yet sometimes, you know, you fall out of that habit, or you like to exercise, but you're not at the moment. That principle of least effort is working against you now. Because when you think about exercise, you think, I got to get the bag out of the cupboard. I got to open the bag. I got to put the trainers on my top, and I haven't got a water bottle. And I can't use a normal water bottle. I need a sports water bottle, and I'm not going into town until next week, so obviously I can't go to the gym now. And it starts to work against you. And if you're working full time and you decide to do an open university course, and in that first year they say to you, you're going to have to study about 20 hours a week, you go, hang on, what do you mean 20 hours a week? I'm doing open university because I'm working full time. How am I going to watch EastEnders during the evenings? And there's a big dropout rate in that first year. But stick with it. Something happens just under halfway into the second year, it clicks. And you're probably studying more than 20 hours. And at the end of 3 years, if it's a 3-year course, you're thinking to yourself, and you're a little bit smug, because you're allowed to be a little bit smug, because you've been working full time and doing open university. You might say something along the lines of, I really don't understand people wasting their lives watching TV during the evenings. I'm going to carry on studying. But in your next breath, your big mistake is you go, you know what, I've been studying for 3 years. I'm going to take a month off. And a month is 30 to 40 days, just enough to change behavior. And at the end of 30 days, you think to yourself, oh, where should I start? I don't know where to start. Well, maybe I'll watch a documentary on TV. I'm bound to learn something if I watch a documentary. And that principle of least effort starts to work against you where it was working for you. So we can see from that a lot of effort up front is important for it to be sustained for a minimum of 30 to 40 days before your unconscious mind starts to automate it. But there is another process going on. And that process is this. Your unconscious mind is scanning your behavior to form habits. And the unconscious mind is not working against you, even if you think you've got some bad habits. Your unconscious mind is not working against you, it's working for you. It wants to make your life easier. Okay then, so let's put that into a context. Let's say you've had a busy week at work and it's Friday evening, you're driving home and you're tired and you think, I don't want to cook. And you think, I'll get a takeaway. That would be a nice little treat. And you get a takeaway, you have a rush of those fatty acids, a bit of salt and a bit of sugar, all very nice, and you didn't have to cook. No big deal. Next week, Friday night, you're driving home and you think to yourself, oh, that was nice last week. I'm going to do it again. So you get another takeaway. Now, what happens at an unconscious level is your unconscious mind goes, I've seen you do this behavior before. Now, it doesn't change your behavior, but it flags it. And then you might even leave it a week, and then the 4th week, you do it again on a Friday. Within that 30 to 40 days, you repeated that behavior. And before you know it, you start Friday's takeaway night. Friday's takeaway night. And then it becomes, well, Friday's takeaway night. That's just what I do. And you're driving home on Wednesday and you think to yourself, oh, God, there's a lot to do today. I'm going to grab a pizza. So you grab a pizza, no big deal, but your unconscious mind goes, I've seen you do this behavior before, so it flags it a little bit sooner. You might even leave it a couple of weeks, but then you get another pizza on a Wednesday night, and before you know it, Wednesday's pizza night, Thursday's takeaway night, Friday's takeaway night, which leaves Thursday free. So we see how this develops, and it's not that your unconscious mind is working against you in any way. So we've covered a lot this week in a video, and I think a lot of this is very applicable. So first off, we talked about the underlying principle of influence. And when I say influence, I mean, do you want to influence yourself to achieve goals? Do you want to influence your children to go to bed on time? To influence your colleagues, your boss, you're managing a team? How you utilize language places images in people's minds. Ask for what you want to happen, not what you don't want to happen, which was the principle that the unconscious mind does not process negatives. And like I said, if you took nothing else away from this session, the time invested in this whole training is well worth it. Then we looked at behavior and how your behavior influences your habits. And if you're starting a new habit, that gives you a foundation. So if you're deciding that every morning you're going to have a bowl of salad, yes, that's how dedicated you are to being healthy, a bowl of salad instead of your rice pops, then we know that a minimum of 30 to 40 days to start to establish that in our behavior will be important, and that the principle of least effort can either work for us or against us. Now, in the next video, what we're going to start to explore are the health implications of the unconscious mind. How does your unconscious mind balance keeping you healthy, focused on what you need to do in life with everything you need to do in life? So we'll be exploring that. It's a powerful and a very important concept that drives the unconscious mind. And so important that it affects your energy levels in life. And if your energy levels are affected negatively, failure is often the outcome. Whereas if you have lots of energy, abundant energy and focus, success is often the outcome. So, any questions, post them below. If they're more personal, email me directly. I do want to answer those for you. Have a wonderful week, and don't think of blue elephants up pink trees.